Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Sports Report. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Prince. The Prairie View A&M University Panthers finished with authority and flash, handling the Jackson State Tigers by the score of 56-14 in their home away from home at Waller ISD Stadium, what has turned out to be the final game of the Panthers season for the 2015 campaign. The Panthers victorious, led by the running paralysis of Jonta Abear, 19 carries, 212 yards, and 3 touchdowns. We'll take a break, and we'll break down more about the Panthers' awesome day and hear from Coach Willie Simmons as he reflects on the Panthers' 2015 performance. Today's broadcast is being made possible by some local business merchants. Appleford Hyundai of Brenham, Texas. Brookshire Hardware in Brookshire, Texas. Wingaritas, Wings and Things in Prairie View, Texas. Hempstead Movie Theater in Hempstead, Texas. Key Insurance Agency in Brookshire, Texas. Larry's Automotive in Wallerfield Store, Texas. Gunderson's Bookkeeping of Waller, Texas. The City of Prairie View 4B Economic Group in Prairie View, Texas. Attorney Lee Van Richardson in Hempstead, Texas. The Temple of Refuge Ministries located in Prairie View, Texas. Wine and Roses located at 125 7th Street in Somerville, Texas. Citizen State Bank located in Somerville, Texas. Attorney Sylvia Cedillo located in Hempstead, Texas. If you or your business would like to become a listening partner or a supporter of our student athletic coverage, please feel free to contact us at 832-213-8824. And welcome back to the Sports Report. As we promised, we're going to break down the Panthers as they were victorious over Jackson State by the score of 56-14. Panthers got 14 points in the first quarter, 7 in the second, 21 in the third, and 14 in the fourth quarter for a grand total of 56 points. Panthers first got on the board with an Arthur Lockett 21-yard interception return for a touchdown to give the Panthers the lead at 7:33 in the first quarter. Then there was another Kalen LaSalle sighting as the Fumblerooski carried out for 10 yards out with 51 seconds remaining in the first quarter. After the PAT, the Panthers took a 14-0 lead. Then you had Dante the Rhino Smiley with a 4-yard touchdown run at 7:27 of the second quarter, and it was 21-0 at halftime. Panthers well in the driver's seat. In the third quarter, the Panthers' Cadell Hodge got a 20-yard pass from Trey Green to open up the lead to make it 28-0 at the 12:37 mark of the third quarter. Jackson State finally got on the board when Daniel Williams received a 13-yard pass from Jarian McCawa at the 7:55 mark of the third quarter. The PAT was good, and the score was then 28-7. Panthers then came back with a 19-yard touchdown run by Jonta Abear, one of his 3 touchdowns at 7:21 of the third quarter. Jackson State then got another follow-up pass to Daniel Williams, 14 yards out to make it 35-14 with 1:48 remaining in the third quarter. And then the floodgates began to open. Trey Green got a 10-yard touchdown run with 27 seconds remaining in the third quarter to extend the lead to 47-14. And what was more than likely the play and the accent mark on Jonta Abear's career at Prairie View, he burst for a 76-yard touchdown run as he was able to go ahead and give the Panthers a well-padded cushion to lead them to victory lane. And once again, Jonta Abear was not through as he did another Houdiniac coming out of the pile and running for a 7-yard touchdown run with 10:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Panthers doing all they could while they could, being outstanding in every aspect of the game. Panthers had a total of 25 first downs. They were 5 for 12 on third down efficiency, 1 of 5 in fourth down efficiency, but 355 total yards on the ground, 164 passing yards for a total of 519 yards. Panthers ended up punting only twice for average of 54.5 yards, a 72-yard kick by Owen Houlihan to give great field advantage on the defensive side. For the Panthers, there were 12 penalties for 100 yards, and there were no turnovers for the Panthers in the game. The Panthers were victorious in the midst of 4,719 fans to witness what was a very, very windy, somewhat chilly, the chilliest game of the season for the Panthers. We'll now go and hear from Coach Willie Simmons as he was able to reflect on the performance by Jonta Hebert and by the overall performance of the Panthers for the 2015 campaign.
All right, I have with me a wet, soaked, victorious Coach Willie Simmons. Coach, congratulations on a season that goes beyond recognition. You guys put it together, came in on a short notice, but got the job done.
I tip my hat to my team, my coaching staff, this administration, these fans, everyone who supported us and believed in this football team. I inherited a bunch of talented young men who just had to learn to come together as a team. They did that. They showed that all season long that they can overcome adversity, that they can defy the odds, and I'm just proud to be the head coach of this great program. So, great win today. Emotional win as these seniors went out in a positive light in front of their home crowd, and just glad to be able to be a part of it.
Well, Coach, you did something that these guys didn't even think was quite possible. And if the truth be told, there's still yet another opportunity awaiting what FCS is going to say. I stated before this broadcast for today's game that 50 points would be needed to kind of make a statement to the FCS that we're not a fluke, that we're serious. Was that in the back of your mind sometime today?
Well, I told the guys that the nation's on notice now. Our athletic director, Ms. Carroll, our director of media relations, Ryan McGinty, our sports information director, Phyllis Caldwell. A lot of people have done a phenomenal job of getting the message out there about this program and our deserving to be a playoff football team. So I told the team that now the nation is going to take notice. They're going to all look to see what Prairie View is all about. I didn't give them a point total or anything to say we got to win by this amount of points or hold them to this amount of points. But I knew that we would have to make a statement today in the eyes of the committee, and hopefully we did enough today to warrant an at-large playoff berth.
Well, they're still in the wings, but one thing that's for sure, that the Panthers go 9-2 on your inaugural season. No matter what happens for the rest of your career, you will always remember that first year. I know you hadn't had a chance to really reflect and look back on it in a total, but just in a brief moment's glance, how you thinking and how you seeing things through?
Well, in my mind, we're still in it, so I'll sit back and reflect when I know it's done. And even then, we got to jump right into recruiting to try to bring more quality student athletes here. So there's never really a time to really just kind of sit back and take a deep breath and say, woo, this is a great first year. But I'm honored to be here, happy to be here. Said that from the moment I stepped foot on campus. Grateful to be around a great group of young men, a great administration, a great athletic director and president who gives us everything we need to be successful. And it's just my job to bring these guys together and help them achieve greatness. And I think we've done a good job of that this year, and we just want to continue to build on that foundation that this senior class and these young men started. And this is just the beginning. It's not about how you start, it's about how we finish it. So we have a long way to go to become the dominant program that we are capable of becoming. But this is a great start for these guys, and just look forward to continuing to press forward as we move into hopefully a playoff berth, but even into recruiting and into next season.
Now, Coach, you got to talk about the exit performance for this regular season by Jonta Hebert. What did you say to him after today's game? 19 touches for 212 yards on the ground.
I said he's all right. What can you say? He's special. He's a special individual. And when I first stepped foot on campus, I saw him. He was just this unassuming kind of individual. Didn't care about the spotlight. First team meeting, kind of sat in the middle of the room. I challenged him after that to be more of a vocal leader, and he's done just that. He's led on the field. He's led off the field. But his play today, this game and the Southern game are two games that'll go down in history. This will rival anything the Otis Taylors did in their prime, the Kenny Houstons, and all those greats that we've had come through this university, and he's right up there with them. I mean, to me, he's the best player in the SWAC. Whether he gets Conference Player of the Year or not, that's not up to me, but I hadn't seen a better player in this league really probably in the last 3 years. So just happy he's on our side, and whenever it's finally over, I hate to see him go. But I hate to see all these seniors leave because they're all special in their own way. But just the things that he can do on the field, I told the coaches we need to go find another one. Well, they ain't on every corner. guys that can run and catch that are tough like Jonte Hebert aren't on every corner, and hopefully we can get another one in this program. But just wish I had more time with him, and I'm sure he wish he had more time here. But I'm sure it's in the last that we'll see of Jonte Hebert.
And of course, that was Coach Willie Simmons reflecting on the performance by Jonte Hebert and the outstanding season that the Panthers had for this 2015 campaign, which was his inaugural year. Now, with all that being said, the dust being settled, the FCS has spoken, and we'll talk about that when we return.
What if I told you that for $36, you could make a big difference? At $36 a year, you can become a listening partner with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This annual donation would help secure the success of our local broadcasts for our student athletes. Visit our website today, OBN-Radio.com, and become a listening partner today. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
And welcome back to the Sports Report. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Prince. Remember, you can watch the Willie Simmons Show at pvpanthersathletics.com on the YouTube channel. But meanwhile, we're going to go back to this FCS, and I'm going to say it, fiasco. The Panthers go 9-2 on the regular season, win 7 straight games, but that's not good enough for the Panthers to get an at-large bid for the playoffs by the FCS. The Panthers not able to measure up to conferences of that of the Missouri Valley Conference, to the conference of the Patriot League, and to the Ohio Valley Conference, and not to mention the Big Sky Conference. The Panthers, the only representation of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, were given what I think is the short end of the stick, the ugly end of the stick. Any way you want to describe it, will be on the outside looking in. Some of the teams that the Panthers were overlooked were the Colgate Raiders. They represent the Patriot League. They finished 7-4 overall, but I will give them credit. They were 6-0 first place in their conference. But then Fordham, who's in the same Patriot League, went 7-2. They went 9-2 overall, 5-1 in conference play, which was good enough for second place. Then you have Eastern Illinois Panthers. They're 7-4 overall, representing the Ohio Valley Conference. They did go 7-1 in conference, but was good enough for second place. They finished behind Jacksonville State, who was 8-0 in conference and 10-1 overall. They are also in the FCS playoff. No problem. Then there's the University of Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa was 7-4 overall, representing the Missouri Valley. They're 5-3 in conference play, 4th place overall in the Missouri Valley. Then you have the Western Illinois Bulldogs, 6-5 overall. Once again, representing the Missouri Valley Conference, 5-3 overall in conference play, and 5th place of the Missouri Valley. And Montana, out of the Big Sky, 6-2 conference, 7-4 overall, 3rd place out of the Big Sky. Something's wrong, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a school that their only 2 losses are to the top team in the Southwestern Athletic Conference that stands at 8-0. And then an FBS opponent, that being of Texas State. Now, granted, Texas State has not had a productive year, but they are still an FBS school. And, of course, I know there are some naysayers out there saying, how can you expect Prairie View to be considered for the FCS playoffs when they played the University of Faith? University of Faith, even if you remove that game, the Panthers go from 9-2 to 8-2, which is still a very credible and respectable opportunity to play in the FCS playoffs. And we hear the formulas and everything that go on about the measurement and the criteria of how they get these bids and everything worked out. And it makes me wonder, is it really a fair playing field for the MEAC and the Southwestern Athletic Conference? I don't need to answer that, neither do you. But then it also makes you want to wonder, one or two things are going to happen in order for the credibility and the respectability to come back to these two mentioned conferences. Number one, the conferences can come together and create what is be known as a super conference. They're doing it all over throughout the country. Or is it time for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers to start considering possibly leaving the Southwestern Athletic Conference? That still remains to be seen. But it does give you something to think about. Well, where would you go? How would you do it? Who and what about tradition? Well, tradition will always be there because Prairie View will always be Prairie View. But the bottom line is you got to be able to reward these kids for hard play. You got to be able to reward these kids for putting it all on the grind. 9-2 is 9-2 any way you look at it. The last I checked, 9-2 is better than 7-4. 9-2 is better than 8-3. And 9-2 is definitely better than 6-5. Is the Missouri Valley Conference considered that much above the Southwest Athletic Conference that you would allow a fourth and a fifth place seeding to supersede the number 2 seeding overall within the Southwestern Athletic Conference? Just something to think about. Not that I'm fussing, not that I'm complaining, but as a American citizen, I'm just expressing myself on a sports talk show that happens to cover the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Something to think about, something to mull over this holiday season. But I don't want to end on a sour note. We do want to give congratulations to the Jackson State Lady Tigers. They were victorious in the 2015 championship edition of the volleyball, representing the Southwestern Athletic Conference. They were victorious over Alabama State 3-1. So once again, congratulations to Coach Rose and the Jackson State Lady Tigers. That is going to take care of this special edition of the Sports Report. But I do want to thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for enjoying the broadcast that we provided for the football season on this past season, and we've done volleyball for the Panthers. We got a whole lot more in store. We've already taken care of 2 non-conference basketball games, but there's going to be a lot more coming, I guarantee you. If you would like to follow us on Twitter, all you have to do is type in OBN_radio, and you'll be able to follow us. Maybe you're an Instagram person, OBN-Radio. And maybe you're like me, a little bit older, and the Facebook smoothie, Open Mic Broadcast Network.com. OPEN, capital MIC, that's all one word, Broadcast Network. And don't forget to go to our website and follow everything that we're doing from east to west, north and south at OBNRadio.com. This is Dr. Michael Prince. Thank you all so much. Congratulations to the Panthers and Coach Willie Simmons and his staff on a fantastic year. Remember to watch the last taping of the Willie Simmons Show, which will be coming to you very, very soon, and all of the Panthers coverage that we'll have coming to you at pvpanthers.com. Until next time, be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.